Next is language perception. We use language to communicate with one another, and language plays a very important role in communication. We use language to describe our opinions, to describe our feeling. Now, if I say I feel cold, then I use language to describe how I feel. Now, can the language that we use influence the way that we perceive and view things? So, people from different cultures and languages view the world differently and organize their reality differently. The way they think is influenced by the grammar and vocabulary of their own languages, of their native languages. There might be several meaning to one word, so it might mean different in different cultures. So if in my culture the meaning of that word is good, in some other culture the meaning of that word might be bad. So that is why, depending upon the culture, depending upon the person from where he has come, language can shape the perception of a person. Next, I am going to discuss about some other factors which affect our perspective. The first one is past experiences. So imagine that you are in a meeting where you will be discussing changes in your personal policies at work. What will you be bringing to that conversation? You might have examples of the others' personal policies. You might have examples from your own time in the company that demonstrate why you feel that certain changes might need to be made, or you might come to the table empty-handed with just a pad of paper and a pen in order to take notes. What influences you to do any of these things? Your past experience. You would bring outside information because you have learned in the past that comparing situations can be helpful in decision making. You bring examples of your own experience because you have learned in the past that examples can be powerful ways to make your case. Or you come to the table empty-handed because in the past you have felt that your input wasn't valued, or you have no past experience in this topic, and so you are a clean slate information wise. In each and every situation, your communication is being affected by your past experience. You enter a situation, a meeting, or a conversation with certain expectations of what will happen in that scenario, and you behave accordingly. Of course, sometimes you want your past experience to influence your future communications. For example, when your team responded positively to the sales tactics you put in place, those same or similar tactics can certainly be successful again. When our negative past experiences stifle our communication or alter our full potential for communicating, that we need to be aware. Further examples of how your past experience could influence your common communication are so, for example, if you had a fight with a person in the past and you meet the person in your present, then definitely there will be some kind of difference because your past experience is going to affect your communication with that person. So that is why past experiences affect our ways of looking into things and the way we communicate with people. Next is prejudices. Prejudice is a preconceived opinion that is not based on any reason or actual experience. Prejudices are basically something which occur when we take our past experiences with a person and assume that the same type of experience will happen with all people who are similar to the first. We all have prejudices, and prejudices are partly due to culture and partly due to personal preference or experience. Not all prejudices involve a negative characteristic either. For example, you could consider all of one group to be smart. The problem with prejudices is when they start to influence how or to whom we communicate. We get an idea of how this could be happening in your workplace. Consider how you might complete the phrases, below. So the phrases are: women in the workplace are, young people in the workplace are, seniors in the workplace are, working mothers in the workplace are, the lowest job level workers are, disabled people in the workplace are. If you can't think of a way to complete it from your own experience, complete each phrase with a stereotype that you might have heard in your past. So try to do this and let's see what happens. Next is the environment. So the last area of influence on your communication is your environment. All of us communicate differently in different environments. This is simple enough to observe in everyday life. Do you speak to your colleague the same way that you do to your friends? Do you talk to strangers with more or less formality than people you know well? Do you talk to your subordinates the same way when your boss is there as you do when she is not there? As you go through your workday, notice how, where you are, what is going on, and who else is present may be impacting the way you communicate. Recognizing how the environment might be affecting others you communicate with is a skill that can come in handy for you, particularly when you perceive that the environment is having a negative impact on your ability to communicate effectively with someone. This skill will help you to perceive why someone might be communicating in the way that they are. It will also give you a factor that you can alter in order to make the person more comfortable or to establish a level of formality that you feel is important in a particular situation. So that's all about perspectives and communication. Thank you so much, everyone.